Hello, in this video I'm trying to explain the way in which ships spawn and how to get them. I've started playing about a month ago and it took me a couple of frustrating weeks before realizing how the process works. I'll try to explain it and show you how to game it so you can get the ship you really want. I'll cover both freighters and starships. I'm going to start with freighters, even though they are much more expensive because it's easier to explain, and I'll go later into starships. Freighters are your home away from home, a mobile base and source for income, and a garage for all your ships. You can summon it anywhere, and here you can see the entourage coming. It's important to note that once you buy a freighter, your old one is basically deleted, and the new one starts with the basic design without anything in it. So if you are hunting for a new one, you should delete everything in your old one, every plant, room, safe, corridor, box, barrel, light, anything. You can also delete the spaces in a blank model in which you haven't built anything, just to get the resources, because with base building, uh, every time you delete an item you get a full refund. Every system has a few random freighters warping around, I think about 3, and one capital freighter that will only spawn during the event. They are all fixed, while each specific model can spawn with random attributes within its model's range, but always the exact same shape, size, and color. For the normal freighters, you can just walk into one of them, talk to the captain, but those are for peasants. There are two types of capital freighters, each with 3 sizes, in which the midsection is longer, but that doesn't affect the stats or the price, only the appearance. Capital freighters have 24 to 34 slots. S-class ships always have the maximum amount of slots for its tier, so if you see an S-class freighter, a capital one, it will always have 34 slots. If you get a random one, an S-class, it will always have 19 slots. The event, if you are completely new to the game, pops up after 3 hours of game time every 6 jumps or so between solar systems. There's a freighter under attack and you are asked to defend it. After you successfully defend it, the captain will invite you on board and will offer you the option to buy it. The first time you do it, there's no price to it, you get it for free. You can plan ahead for the event if you count the number of jumps you did, or reload if it caught you by surprise. By planning ahead, I mean you can warp to a system right next to the system in which you saw a model you want. You can go down to a planet, make a save by exiting your starship. Each time you exit your starship, it automatically saves the game. Every time, except for when you are on a freighter that doesn't belong to you. You can use one of these quick saves or use a manual save or do both so you have a backup in case you misclick or something. After saving your game, go out to space, open the star map and look for rich systems. You should have an economy scanner installed on your starship. It should improve your chances of getting an S-class. I don't know the exact bonus that gives you, but it can't harm. Don't look too far, just to make sure you can find the system again if it had the model you were looking for. You can teleport to another space station, one you've previously visited, if you didn't find anything you like around you. So you might have a limited warp range. Once you jump and the event pops up, check out the ship. You can fly around it, look at the size, look at the colors. Sometimes the colors are a bit hard to determine with the lighting. But there's plenty of time. You don't have to hurry to defend the ship, and you can always reload and go back. I like the smaller black and blue Venator ones, so I think I'll go for this one. Once you find the model you like, try not to shoot it. People usually say it prevents you from buying it later, but I'm not sure. Either way, there's no rush. The attacking ships won't actually do anything as far as I've seen, and um, there's no pressure. Just blow up the enemy ships. They have low damage. Even a new player can do it easily. Duck inside, run to the captain, and talk to him. Every reload is like a roll of the dice on the stats. And don't forget, RNGesus died for your sins. Player joined. If all the enemy ships are hugging the freighter, you can just asteroids to get resources and wait for them, because they will come for you. There's no rush. Now I can't go into the docking bay. I am trying to make a movie here. This feels like Edge of Tomorrow. Docking bay turned blue, so we're open for business. Thank you for that. Black and blue, I'm begging you. I have lost the will to live. The most important point to take from this is that if you find a ship with the look you want, keep going for it. Eventually you will get the S-Class with the max amount of slots for the size, for the tier. And there it is. It took me about 3 hours to get this S-Class to spawn for the video. Probably more than 30 attempts. I wish you have better luck than I did for this one. The one I currently had took me about 2 tries, thankfully. Now on to starships. Like freighters, each system has fixed models. In each system there are 7 shuttles, 3 explorers, 3 haulers, 3 fighters, and extra 4 ships of the type associated with the dominant race of that system. So Gek systems will have 7 haulers instead of 3, Viking systems will have 7 fighters, and Korvax systems will have 7 explorers. On top of that, there is 1 exotic ship in each system. As far as I know, I haven't seen it in every one. So 21 fixed ship models in each system. If you gave it a few attempts, spent, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe in a system, did a few reloads, and haven't seen anything you like, there probably won't be anything new, especially if you've seen about 20 models. You won't see something completely different, so it's safe to just move on. In any case, do a quick reload in every station you visit, because the first 4 ships are fixed. There might be an exotic among them. It takes them a while to enter the station, but it's a very safe way to farm a specific look, because it's almost 100% guarantee to come in every time. Although you may want to summon a freighter or land on a planet to swap to another ship and then go back to the station in case you do find something you want, but again, it will always come. If you don't find a ship you want in the station, the best way to hunt for a ship is to go down to the trading post. You can find a trading post with the economy scanner or ask one of the NPCs in the space station for directions. One of them will always point you towards a trading post. It's best to do it on a planet with decent weather so you don't have to hide inside. When you get to the trading post, you should park next to it so you don't occupy a slot, and then you can summon a ship you want to dump if you are capped at 6 ships. After that, go up to the trade post, make a save, and you can start reloading after every batch of spawns that doesn't have anything that interests you. You can also sit and wait for new ships to come, but that's probably a much slower method to use. Each reload will have around 7 ships, more or less, spawning at the horizon in fixed spots, usually I think 2 or 3 spots around each trading post. You can scan them while in the air using your visor, as long as they are not in the middle of the landing procedure, in which case you will have to wait for them to land and only then you can scan them. If you don't see anything you want within the first 30 seconds, feel free to reload because it's much better, in my opinion, to get a new batch in 20 seconds or whatever it takes you to load, instead of waiting a minute, 2, 3 minutes, and then have a trickle. For this movie I picked a Gek system because it has 2 large hauler models. As mentioned, Gek systems are the best to look for haulers because they have 7 ships instead of the otherwise 3. So it should be easier to get the 48 slot S-class hauler that I wanted to show you in this movie. Each ship, each model, each look belongs to a specific size or tier and has common parts for that tier. The large haulers usually have balls on the sides, big boxes that look like radiators, or wings with turbines. Fighters usually have kiddie bumpers. Explorers usually have 2 big engines, although sometimes they are asymmetrical. One wing will have a big engine and the other one will have something stupid. Again, the most important thing to note is that the stats, the shield, the damage, the hyperdrive, and the slots vary within the tier, within the class of the model you've seen, meaning that if you see a 32 C-class fighter, you can go for that one. There's a chance that it will spawn as a 38 slot S-class fighter with the exact same look. Just like freighters, S-class spawns always have the maximum amount of slots for both cargo and tech for its tier size. So fighters and explorers can spawn as S-class with either 19 slots for the small tier, 29 slots for the medium size, and 38 slots for the large size. You will never see a 42 slot S-class hauler. The large ones will always have 48 cargo slots and 8 tech slots. The only exception to that rule are exotic ships, which always spawn as an S-class, no matter the cargo size. Tech slots are linked to the cargo size, so both will be within the higher range of the tier or the lower range or the mid. You won't see max slots and minimum tech slots. 48 plus 8, 38 plus 12 20 plus 6 for the exotics. Such a limited amount of slots that I think it's pointless to get anything less than 20 slots. It's also important to pay attention to which technologies are blocked, the slots next to them, or free to place modules at, because the modules give bonus stats when they are adjacent. If you connect 3 models next to each other, connected to the base technology, you get a much better value out of it. You can see for this one the pulse engine is blocked from all sides. You can't attach any modules to it. However, the photon cannon is open for upgrades. The hyperdrive if you want to have a lot of modules on the ship, and also the deflector shield. You can dismantle the rocket launcher and place a few deflector shield modules. So this could be a decent fighter. You can also place modules on the technology panel, but those won't be connected to the base technology, so you won't get as much of a boost out of the stats. I'll drop down a signal booster so you can see the coordinates for this system. You can use conversion tool, or I think it's called No Man's Sky Connect, to translate it into glyphs for a portal if you want to come here. I've never used it, so I'm not gonna show you how to do it, but you can probably look it up. Space dub. If you are not too stressed about the stats, you can also use the haulers for mobile storage unit. It's cheaper to get in A or B class. This isn't the one I was hoping to spawn as an S class, but yeah, it serves to prove the point. Took way too long, and the exotic came about 4 times during this experiment. While I was making this video, I managed to find an exotic station spawn. I'll get the coordinates. I'll quickly show you also how to find the portal in case you really want this one. You put down a signal booster, navigation data, and look for an artifact. When you find one of these, you get the option to find a portal with the token related to the dominant race in the system. This planet has the worst mosquitoes. When you get to the portal, you need to spend a decent amount of base materials to be able to use it. I guess while I'm at it, I can also show you a maximum slot explorer. This sexy beast. A maximum slot fighter. That's about it. You probably haven't enjoyed it, but I do hope it will help you find a ship you like. Feel free to ask questions, or if there's anything you want me to make a video on. Or if there's an issue you've had difficulty yourself and you think there isn't enough material online, I can look it up. Thanks for watching. I'll use the opportunity to submit a bug report. If you have a delivery mission, you can get the materials, go to the trade post, open up the console, and then just leave it. And it will consider the mission accomplished without taking the materials.